Hey everyone, welcome to this live session by Intellipaat. I hope you guys had a wonderful day today, and in this session, we'll be checking out how to get a job as a Python developer, guys. Well, before beginning the session, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to stay updated with all of the upcoming content that Intellipaat's YouTube channel is putting out for you guys. So on that note, let us check out the agenda for today. So here's the agenda for this session. We'll begin by checking out what Python actually is, just a quick introduction. Then we'll check out the trends, Python trends. And third, we'll check out the steps that can help you land a job as a Python developer. And fourth, we'll take a look at a Python developer's resume, which is just a sample. And fifth, we'll check out what are the roles and responsibilities you need to have in case you're looking to become a Python developer. And sixth, we'll check out the Python developer's job description, salary, and so much more, guys. So to begin with, what is Python? Well, Python is an interpreted language. It's object oriented. It is a high level language. And again, high level language makes our lives easier to code, right? And it comes with really good dynamic semantics as well, guys. Well, the most important thing is that it's high level built even with respect to data structures, and this, alongside with dynamic typing, dynamic binding, and so many of these concepts make it extremely attractive, make it the top-notch trending thing for application development, guys. So it's pretty simple. Python is an amazing language to learn for a beginner, or let's say you're already into programming and you're programming C++ or something, and then you want to move to Python as an intermediate learner. Well, that's possible as well, guys. So Python's really easy to learn syntax. It emphasizes readability on every measure, and what this does basically is this reduces the cost of program maintenance, guys. And then Python supports modules and packages, and just the number of modules and packages in Python can be overwhelming because there are thousands and thousands of packages which are pretty much ready to do any of the operations that you might have thought of already. And then this again, right, this encourages program modularity, and at the end of it, code reuse is what we're trying to push here as well, guys. And well, the Python, the interpreter and the extensive library, as I've mentioned, which is available, it cannot change for all the platforms, guys. It is pretty much just the same, right? So you install Python on Windows, you install Python on Mac OS, you install Python on Linux. You can pretty much work with a majority of these packages, and guess what? They're all freely distributed as well. Open source is the biggest thing pretty much of the 21st century, I believe. And then in this particular case, with respect to Python, again, it's open source, and this forms a major advantage, guys. So you might be wondering where Python is actually used, right, guys? Python is pretty much around you everywhere. All of the big IT firms around you pretty much make use of Python. Well, to give you a big couple of names out here, YouTube pretty much is using Python right now. Google, NASA, Netflix, BitTorrent, Raspberry Pi, and so many more, guys. Well, you're pretty much using machine learning right now, even though you don't know it, right? So you're watching this video on our Intellipaat's YouTube channel, but then YouTube gives you all these recommendations for the next set of videos. So let's say you just watch this video on how to become a Python developer. Next, you can be recommended our full course on Python, which we have on our channel, and so much more. So how does YouTube know this, right? Well, it's simple machine learning code. I mean, it's simple in our terms, but it is actually very complex what these Fortune 500 companies use. And then they already know what they want to recommend to you based on what all you have watched previously, right? So Python comes into play there as well. So Python is pretty much used everywhere in this world, and definitely as a developer, I think it's a really good asset to learn Python, guys. So you might be wondering, what are the trends which follow around Python, right? Well, it's an amazing thing seeing the charts for Python, actually. So here's a pretty much a prediction which shows you that the growth of Python starting from 2012 till about 2019 is exponential, guys. Well, at one point of time, Java was the biggest thing ever, right? So if you were a programmer from the early 2000s, you will know Java had its foot right deep into the programming picture. But now then Python came into the picture, and then Python is just kicking it off, and there has been an exponential growth, and people believe that this exponential growth will stay for at least the next 5 to 10 years because Python is such an amazing language to work with. So here's another graph which pretty much shows you how Python beat Java back in the day, guys. So Java is the red thing that you can see, and Python is the blue color line, right? Just look at the chart on the bottom. You can pretty much see it was somewhere in 2016 and all the way up till 2017 and 2018 that Python just took over Java, and people realize that there is so much potential in Python that they really want to exploit all the opportunities that are present to them, right? So this is an amazing trend, and every time I look at a couple of Python trend charts, I'm always flabbergasted at all of the amazing details and the amazing trends that have come up with respect to Python, guys. So coming to the important aspect of this particular video, what are the steps that will help you land a job as a Python developer, guys? So I've broken it down to a couple of simple steps, and I believe the first important step here is to master the basics of Python. Because I've seen a lot of Python developers in my time pretty much aiming for jobs at Fortune 500 companies, and they have a very strong foundation of Python. And I asked around a couple of guys just before I came up with this video, and everyone suggests that you need to be really strong with all of the basics of Python. Probably with respect to intermediate components and advanced concepts, you can pretty much learn it from a certified organization and get certified with respect to the same. But having and mastering the basics is a very important first step, which will pretty much help you land the developer job, guys. And coming to the second most important step here, which I believe is knowing all your data structures, guys. Because if you've ever interviewed for an IT job or a job which requires a developer role, then pretty much you already realize that everyone emphasizes a lot on data structures, right? So data structures, people believe it is a very alluring concept. It just goes around people's head, and people think it's very tough. Well, guys, it actually isn't. You just need to understand. If your foundation isn't really good, you will find a lot of difficulty with respect to data structures. And hey, it's always good to go back to your roots, right? So if you're not strong in data structures, just head back to your basics, learn everything again. I mean, there's no harm in learning it again, learning it right. So you need to have the data structures knowledge, and then you need to know that a couple of data structures in Python. We have lists, dictionaries, and so much more. So you need to know how all of these works, and just not just knowing how they work, but then knowing how you can make use of them efficiently is again the second most important thing with respect to making use of data structures using Python, in my opinion, guys. So you need to know how you can turn a pseudocode into an algorithm into flowchart, probably a flowchart into your Python code directly, and work with your other teams on this as well. And step number 3, this is one of the directions that you can head to, is by learning Django and Flask. Well, these are very well reputed frameworks for web development which support Python, guys. So Django and Flask are pretty much again being used everywhere. It's so subtly integrated that we would actually not know. Let's say as consumers or non-technical people, it is not known of what's being used to develop a website or what's going on in the backend, right? So Django and Flask are very important modules, and I believe they're extremely vital frameworks for a Python developer to at least know. I would recommend you just learn the basics of what's going on with respect to Django, what's going on with respect to Flask, and see if you can exploit something out of it, make a mini project of sorts which you can add to your resume, and which will eventually give it a lot of weightage as well, right? So this is step number 3, guys. Step number 4. So step number 4 pretty much involves all the majority concepts that you've pretty much learned in step number 3 with respect to Django and Flask, and actually using all of the skills that you mastered from it to perform a couple of web scraping activities from a couple of sites, guys. Well, web scraping, again, there is a lot of jobs with respect to web scraping, which again, which is an amusing fact for me, because I just thought, this was a couple of years ago, so I thought web scraping was a small thing in this world, but no, web scraping has its foot really strong. It has a very good hold in the world of IT. And then making sure that you guys can get to this step, guys, you will need a good web development framework and knowledge in this framework, right? Hence step 3 was an important one. Well, in my personal opinion, step 5 has to be the reason why most of you guys are here, or your goal would be something this, right? To achieve artificial intelligence with respect to machine learning by making use of Python, right? Guys, there are many frameworks and many libraries out here for Python. Again, Python is scikit-learn, TensorFlow, PyTorch for neural networks, deep learning, and machine learning as well. I mean, there are so many frameworks for Python, it will take you a really long time to learn all of these. I mean, my intention here is to not overwhelm you with all of the concepts that are present here, but I do want to inform you that there are opportunities present there and you can exploit it to land a very good job, guys. So step 5 would be to pretty much familiarize yourself with respect to machine learning using Python, because probably from 2017 onwards, this was the most, and this is the most trending thing when someone talks about Python. It's either deep learning or it's machine learning, guys. And we already know the end goal of machine learning and deep learning is just to achieve artificial intelligence, right? So step 5 again is very important. And if you have a certificate that you've worked in machine learning using Python, that's a biggest bonus, let's say, or an upgrade you can give to your resume, and this will help you on your path to become a Python developer, guys. And step 6 is the next important thing after you work on your machine learning projects, is to know that you have to have a couple of projects. Let's say it can be beginner projects, intermediate projects, and advanced projects, right? So you can pretty much go on to build a calculator as your beginner project, have an intermediate project where you just make a game, and then have an advanced project where, let's say, you're doing some binary classification using machine learning, or let's say you're probably making use of recurrent neural networks and so much more. So you need to have some sort of projects, you need some sort of validation, because at the end of it, in an interview, you're just trying to sell yourself, right? Let's say your resume is just 2 pages, so you need to put everything that you've done in these 2 pages and sell yourself to the interviewer to convince him that you deserve the Python job, right? I mean, Python jobs pay a lot, actually, in fact, to be honest, compared to other programming jobs. I am not biased, but I just these are just the facts that are present, guys. And guys, stick to the end of the video where we'll be talking about salaries and so much more, and you'll get to know the figures of what a Python developer earns as well. So this important step here is to tell you that you need to work on some projects, you need to get your hands dirty with respect to code, and then work with it and go with it to pretty much land a good Python developer's job, guys. So after all of these, there are still some skills this is my personal set of skills that I would push for you guys. And the first most important thing is effective verbal and visual communication skills, guys. Because when you're working a technical job, I've been in situations where, people are trying to explain concepts to a non-technical person, let's say in a business meeting or a business review, and those people are not understanding what the developer is trying to tell us. So basically what happens is you need to dumb down your concepts from the world of IT, and probably you need to have that verbal skill to explain your code to a developer and to explain your code and concept to a non-technical person as well. So in my opinion, a good verbal skill is always not just a Python developer job, it's just great to have for any job, guys. And then the second thing is good team working ability, because if you are a hardcore Python developer, then you'll be writing hundreds or thousands of lines of code every day, right? Pretty much you will not be the only one working on an entire project in a Fortune 500 company. You will have a team, you will have a team lead, you will be working alongside your peers. So you need to coordinate with everyone. Then you need to have that ability where you can work together as a team and then just push all your skills together, bring everything into one umbrella and then work with it, right? So good team working ability is what I push for, guys. So, and then the third most important thing is you need to have this interest in collecting and analyzing a lot of data, because with respect to Python, most of the applications are either big data, machine learning, or neural networks. So you need to have this thriving desire to delve into data and understand data better, guys. So that I think is a good skill to have. And then lastly, it has to be good problem solving skills, because if you're taking the machine learning or the neural network path, it's a lot of mathematics and computer science, right? So you need to be very good at calculus as well. So I mean, not just calculus, you won't be using calculus all the time, but then hey guys, you will require that particular skill. And not just calculus, not just mathematics, good problem solving skills in general, guys. And then most of the Python developers have an educational background which is pretty much from computer science, information technologies, or they have a major in mathematics, statistics, and so much more. Well, this is again the requirement from all of the companies hiring a Python developer. Well, if you are not from a computer science background or an IT background and you still learned how to become a Python developer, let's say you just picked up our Intellipaat's certification and you got certified, well, you still apply for a very good job, and then you just need the skills. Well, people these days are not checking a lot of education, guys. They just need the skills that you have and pretty much a good couple of abilities like team working abilities, communication skills, and problem solving skills. And if you're good at this and Python, well, you're just into the organization, right? So on that note, let us quickly check out what a Python developer's resume looks like. Here is a very small sample resume that I picked up. So this person has pretty much worked as a junior Python developer at this company called as NRG from 1 year to worked as a Python developer at this company called Morningstar in San Francisco. The description pretty much says delivering projects with 1 or 2 days turnaround time or even within hours. So you need to have the ability to sit in code and finish a project having a less turnaround time. Designed and implemented the boot menu in 2-line displays in 3 weeks. So again, that is a very good achievement, probably in 3 weeks for this particular person. And then another Python ongoing job at Makerspace, made over 800 insertions, 150 deletions to 4 central framework repositories in less than 3 months. Took a position which combined 2 roles, Python developers and Scrum Master as well. Scrum Master for a team of 9 people. Introduced a new approach to submit render for layout and crowd department. I mean, this just should give you the overall picture of what a Python developer would do, right? So at the end of it, Python developer you need to be good with your time ability as well, guys. So how good are you at maintaining time? Because as you can see, usually the turnaround time for a Python developer is less, but then this depends on your organization as well. But you need to be good with time, you need to be good with code, you need to be good with working with a team, and that is a very important part of being a Python developer, guys. I mean, you can just check out pretty much you can just Google it out, a Python developer's resume, and you can pretty much go on to read what these people have actually done in their course at the particular firms, and it's staggering to see that the achievements of people can make even as junior Python developers or an experienced Python developer as well, guys. So on that note, coming to the next concept, pretty much you guys will be wondering by now, so what are the roles and responsibilities of a Python developer, right? I've broken it down to 3 important roles and responsibilities in this particular slide. And the first one is writing effective and scalable code, guys. Because as a beginner and an intermediate learner, you will be learning to just write code. It might not be efficient, it might not be scalable, but then just working more and more on it, doing projects on this, getting your hands dirty with code at a majority part of your time and learning will make sure that your code becomes effective and scalable. Because in an organization, in a huge organization which you pretty much will want a job in, will have a system which is already scaled, right? So you need to make sure that the tiny piece of code that you write will work across their spectrum of devices and networks as well. And the second most important roles and responsibility part is pretty much developing the back-end components effectively. Just as important as developing the front end is with respect to an organization, the back end is pretty much neglected, or for the common non-technical person, it is not seen, right? So it is an abstraction for the common user where they will not know what's going on in the back end. But as a Python developer, you must be very good at developing good solutions for backend components and handling them very effectively and efficiently as well, guys. So coming to the third thing, it's pretty much integrating this particular backend with respect to the front end easily. So you need to know how you can go about with a merger with respect to all the backend, let's say databases, data storage units, and so much more. And you need to bring these together with your front end to integrate this well, guys. So these 3, I believe, are a very important role for a Python developer, and there are more as well. I mean, you can just go on to find many roles and responsibilities of a Python developer, but I think those 3 are the most important ones, guys. So coming to a Python developer's job description, here is an actual job description from Accenture. I picked this up from the website indeed.com, which is very famous for searching and hunting for new jobs. And this is their requirement, guys. They say that they require very strong quantitative and analytical skills, and they require 2 years of experience in data science as well. And this includes Python, R, Scala, Julia, or SAS. They require 2 years of implementing and delivering projects in using CI/CD pipeline as well. So they require the continuous integration, continuous delivery pipelines here as well. And then they pretty much want you to have experience working with Git, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Kubeflow pipelines, and so much more. Again, 2 years experience in data science and using statistical methodologies. Well, this is the job description for a plain Python developer, guys. So look at the concepts that they pretty much ask you. You need to know Kubernetes, you need to know Python, you need to have worked with data science. Again, you will require some experience in machine learning methods, familiarity with clustering, regression, optimization, recommendation, neural networks, and other machine learning methodologies as well. Well, as I've been mentioning, machine learning has been a big part in the world of Python, and then if you're strong in that, you can pretty much go on to hunt and get a really good job, guys. So here is another job description from this one's from Bank of America. Well, here they say you need to have exceptional development skills in Python on Unix, knowledge of agile development. Again, these guys need Scrum and Kanban and so much more as well. Solid object-oriented design skills. OO is object oriented. With respect to distributed low latency, high availability systems, you need to have excellent problem solving capabilities, analytical skills in a high pressure environment. You must have a degree in computer science, physics, engineering, mathematics, or an analytical degree as well. A strong understanding of algorithms and data structures. See, I told you. And then a strong understanding of all the design patterns and why there has to be a pattern that needs to be used. Well, this responsibility, this role and responsibility again is exactly what we discussed a couple of slides ago, right? You need to give importance to data science. You need to have a degree in computer science. Well, again, this is debatable. If you do not, then you can pretty much, get there. Because I personally know a couple of electrical engineers who had the interest to pretty much pick up computer science a decade ago, and now they are pretty much, vice presidents of big companies working with respect to Python, working with respect to C# and so much more, guys. So a degree is debatable, but then it would be really great if you actually have that. If not, you will need to work your way up the ladder of development, and you need to prove to people that you can pretty much handle the development job, guys. So coming to the next important thing in this particular video is the Python developer's salary, guys. So in America, in the United States of America, the average pay for a Python developer is somewhere around $95,000, guys. This is American dollars. And then throughout the world, let's say in India, it's about 10 lakh rupees per annum, which is again great if you are just starting out or if you're an intermediate developer. But then this is just the average pay, guys. So the pay lasts from somewhere around 6 lakhs all the way till 15 lakhs per annum for a Python developer from a beginner to an intermediate scale. I mean, if you're an advanced developer, then you can pretty much get a bigger salary here as well. But the comparing the entire world's average, I mean Australia, Europe, London, and so much more, the average base pay per year comes down to somewhere around $92,000. It can go as low as 60,000 American dollars and as high as almost $140,000 per year, guys. So this is really good amount, and you can tap into these with all the potential that you guys have. And I've seen a couple of comments from learners. You guys are just unstoppable. So you can pretty much get here. You can get here really quick, but then you need to sell yourself well. And I believe that having a certification will help you sell better, guys. So you might have a question at this point of time. Okay, Anirudh, we pretty much get all these concepts and we know how to become a Python developer. But if we need to push a little further with respect to our learning, what do we do? Guys, again, I always push this particular quote, which I believe is fantastic. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest, right? So this quote is very strong and I really believe in it. Every time I want to learn something new, pretty much, I start out with this quote and go about it. So coming to your further learning, guys, in case you guys are into videos, then make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out all the videos that we have a lot of subject matter experts here putting out content for you day in and day out. But then if you're more of a blog reader, we have an entire Intellipaat blog channel where again we'll be putting out a lot of blogs, a lot of technical blogs on a majority of all of the concepts, and we have a lot of people requesting blogs and videos as well, and then we're just putting it, we're just doing it slowly and coming out with all of the requests that you guys make. So in case if you're an avid blog reader, make sure you check out our blog channel, and then you might be on your way to become a Python developer, guys. So guys, thank you for sticking till the end of the video, and as promised, I'm gonna let you in on Intellipaat's Python certification training course, guys. So this is one among the courses which is very highly reviewed by our learners here at Intellipaat. So in this Python certification training, you get to learn about all the packages like SciPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, scikit-learn, NumPy, web scraping libraries, Lambda function, and so much more, guys. Pretty much you're gonna need all of these to write code again in big data systems like Hadoop, Spark, and so much more. The best part about the course is that you will be working on real world projects and case studies, and another important thing which I always push for is you will get the hands-on experience which is mostly required to go about learning Python, guys. So here's some of the key features of the course. You will have 42 hours of instructor-led training, 24 hours of self-paced training, over 50 hours of projects and exercises, and you will get certified and you can master the Python language as well. And our team here stands by to provide you job assistant too, flexible scheduling, and lifetime free upgrade, guys. So let us say Python puts out its updates every now and then, right? So maybe 1 year down the line, maybe 2 years down the line, you choose to revisit the courses and learn again. So at that point of time, you will be having access to the latest and the upgraded versions of the courses, because here at Intellipaat, we pretty much provide lifetime free upgrades to all of our courses, guys. So another important thing which most of our learners really like is that we provide 24/7 lifetime support and access for any courses, and this pretty much holds good for 365 days of the year as as well, guys. So in this course, pretty much you will be checking out the importance and introduction of Python. You get to study all the object-oriented concepts, expressions, data types, loopings, functions, operations, and class defining as well. You will understand how machine learning works and how the algorithm works in Python. You will get a completion certificate from Intellipaat, and pretty much at the end of it, our goal is to get you equipped for the Python professional certification, guys. So you can pretty much check out all of these and give the entire course manual a read, guys. And pretty much the most important way about Python, in my opinion, is to take it slow, break it down, and have a structured way of learning, guys. And here pretty much we have hands-on exercises for every single module as well. So you can get to know what you're learning in that particular module, and you can check out the hands-on exercise which is provided for that module as well, guys. So you can check out what is the hands-on you will get when you're working with object-oriented programming. You can check out multi-threading, race condition, and then what is the demo that you will be working on, web scraping with Python, what are the packages that Python is giving you access to, and so much more, guys. And with respect to the self-paced program, you can pretty much get the Apache for Spark coding module as well. And there are some very good real-time projects that we really want to push the practical approach to the people and to help you bring out the Python skills that you actually learned in this course, guys. And at the end of it, you will be provided with a course completion certificate which looks just like this. And this certificate will add a lot of value to your resume, because at the interview that you're going to, you just have to sell yourself with respect to just 2 pages of your resume, right? So having the depth and breadth to your resume is going to go a long way, in my personal opinion, guys. And a certification such as this with all the projects that you'll be doing is going to add a lot of weight to your resume and to your career as well, guys. So on that note, if you guys need any more help with respect to any of our courses or videos, please do get in touch with us at the numbers provided on your screen, guys. And you can also leave a mail to us, support@intellipaat.com, and our team will be more than happy to help you guys out. And we have an amazing support team here who stand by 24/7, 365 days of the year. We have our course advisors here who can help you pick up the course which feels tailor-made to you, and so much more, guys. So if you have any queries, suggestions, head to the comment section below. And if you're looking for the courses or any other help in general with respect to your career, please give us a call or write us a mail, guys. So on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this session, and I'm more than excited to meet you guys on the next one. See you.